In July of 2020, a teenager from Tampa, Florida, unleashed one of the most audacious cybercrimes in modern history. Barack Obama, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Kanye West, their Twitter accounts hacked, their voices stolen, and with just a few tweets, this teenage hacker tricked thousands into sending over $100,000 in Bitcoin. But here's the real twist. He didn't just hack Twitter, he owned it. How did a 17-year-old manage to breach the inner workings of one of the biggest tech platforms on the planet? What was his endgame? And what does this reveal about the future of cybersecurity? This is the story of Graham Ivan Clark, a digital prodigy or a dangerous manipulator. Let's find out. Act 1. Background and early signs. Graham Ivan Clark wasn't your typical teen. Born in 2003, raised in Tampa, he showed signs of being a tech whiz from an early age. By the time most kids were playing Minecraft, Clark was already poking around the edges of the internet's darker corners. He reportedly had an interest in cryptocurrency from age 14. He spent time on underground forums and learned how to navigate the complex world of SIM swapping, social engineering, and data leaks. Friends described him as quiet, but brilliant, while others called him secretive, someone who preferred Discord chats and darknet aliases over school dances and social media selfies. Clark was reportedly active on OG Users, a forum notorious for selling hijacked social media handles. It's a place where cybercrime and credibility collide, where reputation is measured in stolen identities and illicit trades. His earliest internet crimes likely began with SIM swapping, impersonating someone else, tricking phone companies into giving access to someone else's phone number, and intercepting two-factor authentication codes to access bank accounts, emails, and crypto wallets. These tactics weren't new, but Clark did them better than most. Faster, more convincing, more dangerous. Some say his interest in hacking started after he was scammed online as a younger teen. That experience reportedly pushed him into learning how cybercrime worked, except instead of stopping others from being scammed, he became the scammer himself. He operated under various aliases, including one known as Kirk during the Twitter hack. This identity was used not only to coordinate the breach, but also to establish dominance and credibility in cybercriminal circles. His activities escalated with each success, and with every stolen handle or Bitcoin transaction, Clark gained confidence and notoriety. Act 2. The breach. On July 15, 2020, Graham Clark pulled off a hack that shook the world. He targeted Twitter's internal admin tools, a system meant to be used only by the company's most trusted employees. According to the FBI, he posed as a Twitter IT worker and convinced real employees to hand over their login credentials. It worked. Once inside, Clark had access to any account he wanted. Verified, high-profile, untouchable. He used accounts like at Barack Obama and at Elon Musk to post a simple message: "I am giving back to the community. All Bitcoin sent to this address will be sent back doubled. If you send $1,000, I will send back $2,000. Within minutes, thousands of dollars began pouring in. By the time Twitter locked it down, Clark had collected over $117,000 in Bitcoin. What most people don't realize is how surgical the attack was. Clark didn't post the scam all at once. He staggered the tweets, one big name at a time. Barack Obama, then Jeff Bezos, then Apple, then Uber. This staggered release created the illusion of legitimacy. The scam played on urgency and credibility. When followers saw these accounts tweeting what looked like a philanthropic message, they responded without hesitation. Many were convinced they'd just stumbled upon the opportunity of a lifetime. This was a social engineering masterclass, an emotional hack wrapped in technical prowess. The hack didn't just involve Twitter. It was part of a wider ecosystem of manipulation. Clark had buyers lined up to purchase OG usernames, short one-word Twitter handles that sell for thousands on underground markets. Some of these handles were transferred in real time, mid-breach, as Clark monetized his access from multiple angles. Act 3. The aftermath and arrest. Within 48 hours, Clark was arrested at his home in Tampa. The arrest was made possible by traces left behind: Bitcoin addresses, Discord logs, even a Coinbase account. Despite his efforts to anonymize his actions, the digital trail led straight back to him. He had even used his real IP address during portions of the scam, a rookie mistake that helped authorities confirm his identity. Federal prosecutors, cybersecurity experts, and media outlets all swarmed the story. The Tampa Bay Times called it a breach of global proportions, executed by a boy barely old enough to drive. His arrest made headlines not just in the US, but across Europe, Asia, and Latin America. In a world full of daily cyber threats, this one had broken through the noise. Investigators later revealed that Clark wasn't working alone. He had at least two co-conspirators, Nima Fazeli, a 22-year-old from Orlando, and Mason Shepard, a 19-year-old from the UK. But Clark was the ringleader, the one who controlled the access and the money. Act 4. Legal consequences. Clark was charged with over 30 felony counts, including organized fraud, communications fraud, and identity theft. But instead of being tried as an adult, Clark took a plea deal. He would serve 3 years in a juvenile facility and 3 years of probation. Critics called the sentence too light. Others argued he was a kid who got in over his head. But prosecutors emphasized the sophistication of his actions. This wasn't a prank. This was a coordinated cyber attack on a global communications platform. He also agreed to forfeit any remaining cryptocurrency still under his control, with some sources estimating it to be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Clark was banned from using computers without government supervision and ordered to share all of his online accounts and passwords with his parole officers. He was also ordered to wear an ankle monitor and was barred from accessing the internet except for educational purposes. Act 5. Technical breakdown. So how did he actually pull it off? Clark used a mix of social engineering and insider manipulation. He reportedly gained access to Twitter's Slack channels, where admin credentials were accidentally exposed. Once in, he bypassed the two-factor authentication, accessed the internal admin panel, and simply reset the email addresses of high-profile users. From there, it was as easy as typing a tweet. This wasn't just about coding skill. It was about psychological manipulation, timing, and a deep understanding of how corporate systems work from the inside out. Cybersecurity analyst Rachel Toback said, "He didn't break in. He walked in through the front door, wearing a fake badge and a fake smile." Clark also used techniques known as SIM swapping and account takeover fraud. These were layered into his attack strategy and made it possible for him to not just access, but control nearly any system he targeted. Investigators noted how Clark used Telegram and Discord channels to coordinate with buyers and fellow hackers. He encrypted his messages, used VPNs, and routed through multiple proxy layers, demonstrating a clear understanding of operational security. But he got comfortable, and in cybercrime, comfort leads to mistakes. Act 6. Public reaction and comparisons. The hack sparked international outrage. Twitter was forced to shut down verified accounts for hours. Congressional investigations were launched. The incident raised urgent questions about cybersecurity, access control, and the dangers of insider threats. Clark was compared to other infamous teen hackers like Kane Gamble, who hacked US intelligence officials at age 15, Adam Mudd, creator of the Titanium Stressor DDoS service, Elliot Gunton, who sold hacked personal data for Bitcoin, Michael Kals, aka Mafia Boy, who brought down Yahoo, eBay, and CNN at age 15. But what made Clark stand out was the sheer scale and visibility of his stunt. He didn't just hack accounts, he hijacked trust. Act 7. Who is Graham Clark? Psychologists, reporters, and tech experts have all tried to profile him. Some say he was driven by greed. Others say it was boredom. One former associate told Vice News he didn't care about fame. He just wanted to prove that he could do it. But there were signs of something deeper, a need to control, a thrill in outsmarting adults, a rush that came from cracking systems meant to be uncrackable. Clark's behavior online showed someone who wasn't just trying to make money, but trying to build an identity, a brand, one that lived and thrived in anonymity, in secrecy, and in power. Some cybersecurity experts believe Clark represents a broader trend, gifted teens testing the limits of their power in a digital age with little oversight. Conclusion: the bigger picture. Clark's story isn't just a cautionary tale, it's a warning. In a world where teens can outsmart billion-dollar companies from their bedrooms, what happens when they decide to do more than just tweet? Are we prepared for the next digital prodigy, or are we just waiting for the next Graham Clark?